in Israel, I went to go tour the terror sites of October 7th, all over the southern portion of Israel where these attacks took place. And one of those places was the Nova Music Festival, where over 400 young men and women were murdered in cold blood by Hamas terrorists when they had gone to attend a music festival. We are joined now by a mother of one of the hostages who was taken there. Her name is Idit Ohel. We appreciate you joining us. Can you tell us, Edith, about your son and what October 7th was like for you? How did you become aware of what happened to him?
Well, firstly, thank you for letting me speak and talk about this. I really appreciate it. Alon, was just that night before the 7th of October decided to go to the Nova Festival. He got the tickets that day. So I knew he was going to the Nova Festival, and I knew he was going with friends. He got there around about 5:30 in the morning, and like a half an hour later, everything started to happen. Rockets falling down, and they needed to find cover. So they got into the car and they drove to a bomb shelter, which is right like 5 minutes from where the Nova Festival was. They got into this bomb shelter, and they were just thinking, firstly, that they were just getting cover from the rockets. They weren't thinking about the fact that there was Hamas terrorists coming into Israel, 3,000 terrorists coming in. They were just, so they were waiting about a half an hour for the rockets to stop, and then Hamas comes to the bomb shelter and starts to shoot people inside, throwing grenades into the bomb shelter. This one person called Amir Shapira threw back outside from the bomb shelter. They were Hamas throwing bombs inside. He was taking the bombs in his hand and throwing them outside. Alon also threw two bombs, and it was horrific. It was terrible. One of the grenades exploded inside, and Alon, a lot of people were injured. There were about 27 people at that day in that bomb shelter. Now, you have to understand that bomb shelter can only, it can get inside and feel comfortable, as you say, about 6 or 8 people. At that day, there were 27 Alon's, age group, trying to get cover from all of this. After the bomb exploded inside, the Hamas comes and grabs and takes Alon and 3 others. One of them was also Hirsch Goldenberg Pauline. He was also taken with Alon. We, at that time, it was around 7 o'clock, we went with the dogs out, and we understood that something was going on when my father called and said, something is going on. Where is Alon? Do you know where he is? And I said, well, he's at the Nova Festival. So I wasn't that worried, but he told me that something is definitely going on and we should make sure that Alon is fine. So we called him. He didn't answer. We wrote them an SMS, a WhatsApp message. And about 8 o'clock in the morning, we asked him where he is and if he's fine. And he said, and there was a message sent to us that he was at a bomb shelter and that he was fine. And right after that, we asked, how are you? We sent pictures we want to see. And that was the last time we were in contact. What we know is that at 8 o'clock was exactly the time that he was kidnapped. Actually, enforced disappearance. It's not a kidnapping. It's more like an enforced disappearance, which is a little bit different. And that was that. So when he was when they were grabbing him and pulling him and putting him on the truck, his phone fell. So that's why the message was just sent that exact time. It's horrific. It's terrible. I knew that Ella was kidnapped when my husband came back from Soroka Hospital, trying to find him. His phone actually got there because somebody at the bomb shelter that was not kidnapped took the phone with him, and when a guy came in to rescue the 7 that survived, 19 were murdered that day. After they took Alon and Hirsch and 2 others, the Hamas comes and shoots everybody to kill. And the ones who survived were injured but survived. They got to Soroka Hospital, and one of the survivor took Alon's phone. So my husband was going to Soroka to find him. Obviously, he didn't find him, but Alon's best friend was one of the ones who survived, and he actually told the police what happened. So we knew that Alon was kidnapped that day.
Idit, what has it been like to have a son held hostage now for over 400 days? How have you and your family been dealing with that?
It's terrible. It's you can't comprehend the stress that we are going through, knowing that Alon was kidnapped. We don't know exactly where he is. We don't know how he is. We don't know anything, and just to try to survive that is just unbearable. You know, we're not working, me and my husband. What we're trying to do for every second of the day is advocate for him, for Alon, and make sure that people know about this, and that everything, our government and Hamas and whoever, and also obviously in the States, make sure that some kind of an agreement can come and that they will come home. You know, it's scary to know that each day is, for them, it's not an each day. It's every single minute is hard. Thinking about what they have got, what he's going through. You know, he's probably under the tunnels for about 430 days today. He's probably, I don't know if he's getting enough food to eat. I don't know if he's getting air. You know, it's just, you know, the basic rights were taken from him. You know, I don't know if he's getting sleep. I don't know anything. And for me, for a mother, it's just, sometimes I cannot breathe. You have to understand, Alon was taken from Israeli land, and Alon was in the Nova Festival. He was not fighting anybody. He was not doing anything wrong. He's an innocent civilian that was taken, kidnapped, brutally kidnapped, from his home. You know, Alon's friends were kidnapped from their homes, from their beds. It's not right. It's in any way, you know, the ICRC, the Red Cross has not seen them. 430 days, they have not seen the hostages. Nobody knows except, I guess, Hamas, what's their, you know, status. Yes, I believe Alon was taken alive. Okay, Alon was taken alive. There's a video footage showing that. So I know that Alon was taken alive, and I believe in my heart that he is alive. You know, what they tell us is that he was taken alive, and as long as there's not any other thing saying different, he's alive. So, you know, this is a humanitarian issue. This is not a political one, and it's for me, it's all my life. You know, I have not seen my son. You know, he had his birthday on the 10th of February, and I couldn't talk to him. Couldn't say happy birthday. Nothing. I'm thinking about the fact that I miss to hug him. Like, how does it feel to hug your son? I sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm thinking about how a loan looks like, and I have to look at pictures sometimes to remind me exactly his color, his eye color, exactly, the way his nose, is, and Alon is also a pianist. So the whole thing I'm thinking about is I hope and I pray that he is sitting, thinking about music and probably playing with his hands. We're just thinking about, the pianist, the movie, how there's like a scene where he's in the, I don't know if it's like in the, some kind of, where the Jewish, it kept him, somewhere, and he's like thinking about how does he feel to play.
Idit, we want your son to be home, and 100 other hostages, as you said, have still been held for 430 days. You wrote a great piece that is posted at the Clay and Buck website laying out exactly your son's story, your family's pursuit of him. I would encourage everybody to go check it out at clayandbuck.com. Idit, we're praying for you and your family as well. Thank you for sharing this story, and we hope that with Donald Trump coming into office that there can be some sort of resolution and these hostages can all come home. Thank you.
Thank you, Idit.
Thank you. I wish so too. Thank you.
All right, our sponsor right now is LifeLock, my friends. The holidays are coming up, and so are some of the best deals you're going to see all year. As you make your purchases, make sure you're being vigilant with your personal information. Stick to trusted websites. Only use secure Wi-Fi networks. Watch out for those phishing emails. You got to understand how cybercrime and identity theft affect all of us. But having LifeLock's online identity theft protection can give you peace of mind so you can take care of all the names on your list while they watch, meaning LifeLock, watch your back. When you're a LifeLock member, you get the benefit of their online system scanning for evidence that your identity's been compromised. I get texts and emails on a regular basis trying to steal my identity, so I know it's happening to all of you too. You want LifeLock to be watching your back. And by the way, if you do have an identity theft issue, a dedicated U.S.-based LifeLock restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Terms apply. It's easy to help protect yourself with LifeLock. Join now, save 40% off your first year with my name, Buck, as your promo code. Go to lifelock.com, use promo code Buck, or just call 1-800-LifeLock. That's 1-800-LifeLock, or go to lifelock.com, use promo code Buck for 40% off your first year's membership.